This presentation is going to explain the University of California Transfer Admissions Guarantees in the UC TAG application. What is TAG? TAG is a Transfer Admissions Guarantee, and it guarantees admissions to one UC campus. It is offered at 6 UC campuses. However, UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego do not offer TAGs. TAG is not a requirement for admissions. You can apply through regular UC admissions. You don't have to complete a TAG to apply for that campus. TAGs are accepted in the fall semester only, so September 30th is the deadline to apply for a TAG. However, UC Merced does offer a TAG for spring admissions as well, and UC Riverside also offers a TAG for winter. The applications for these two are accepted between May 1st to May 31st. UC TAG eligibility. So who is eligible to submit a TAG? And those are students who have to complete 30 UC transferable semester units by the TAG submission date. That means that you need to have 30 UC transferable units completed by the time you submit the TAG. You also need to complete 60 UC transferable semester units by the spring prior to transfer. And your last term of attendance must be at a California community college. You also need to complete specific UC English and UC Math requirements. We'll talk about those in future slides. You also need to meet a particular GPA criteria, and it varies by campus, by major, and college. The GPA is basically between a 2.7 to a 3.5. Students can only apply to one TAG, but you can always apply to as many campuses as you want. Students who submit a TAG must also submit a UC application. So you have to submit a UC application as well as your TAG. Who can TAG? Only students transferring directly from a California community college are considered for a TAG. And the University of California defines a California community college transfer student as one who has completed at least half of their transferable units at a California community college. All UC TAG campuses require students to meet this definition. This includes international students with a visa as well. Who cannot TAG? Students are not eligible to TAG if they have already earned a bachelor's degree, a graduate degree, and/or a professional degree. These students cannot participate in TAG. Students who also are senior level transfers cannot do a TAG. If you are concurrently enrolled in high school at the time of the TAG submission, cannot participate in TAG. So if you are still in high school taking college classes, you are not eligible to submit a TAG. Or students who have previously enrolled at a UC campus during a regular term cannot submit a TAG to return to that campus. This does not include summer sessions. So if you just took a summer class at a UC, that's okay. It's only if you attended a UC campus during a regular term that are not eligible to submit a TAG. Minimum GPA requirements. So if you notice, the GPA does vary by campus and also by major, right? The lowest that we see is from UC Riverside from 2.7 for Graduate School of Education and for the School of Public Policy. And the highest that we see is from UC Davis. It's a 3.5 in computer science, College of Engineering. So make sure that the college you want to go to and the major, make sure that you meet that GPA requirement. The TAG does have higher requirements in terms of the regular UC admissions. So if you don't meet the TAG requirements, you could always apply through regular admissions. English and math completion. So the English requirement is basically, they're talking about 2 English courses. And it's basically English 1A, which is English composition. And your second English can be English 1B or 1C at Mission College, for example. So for example, at UC Davis, both English courses must be completed by the end of fall. For Irvine, they want English 1A, the first course completed by the end of summer 2020. But then their second course of English 1B, for example, or 1C, has to be completed by spring 2021. If you look at Merced, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz, they all want the first English course, which is English 1A, for example, by the end of fall 2020, and their second course by the end of spring 2021. When it comes to math, they're talking about a UC transferable math, like Math 10, which is statistics, for example. And for Davis, Merced, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz, they all want the UC transferable math completed by fall 2020. UC Irvine is the one that wants it completed by the end of summer 2020. Tags and majors. So do the tag guarantee to a major? And it varies a little bit. If you look at, for example, Davis, they do guarantee to the major, provided that all tag requirements are completed. However, applicants to landscape architecture are approved in a pre-major status. For Irvine, Merced, and Riverside, yes, they guarantee to the major, again, provided all tag requirements are completed. For Santa Barbara, they do guarantee to the College of Letters that don't have a pre-major, but they do not guarantee for majors in the College of Letters and Science that have a pre-major. Okay, and again, Santa Cruz also guarantees, and it specifies which majors they guarantee it for. Tags and excluded majors. So which majors are excluded from the tag? For UC Davis, it's undeclared programs and landscape architecture. Those are excluded from tag. For Irvine, it's business administration, cognitive science, dance, music, nursing science, and all majors in the Donald Brent School of Information and also computer science. So take a look to see, make sure that the major you are interested in, it's not one of the excluded majors. Notice at Santa Cruz, none, they actually can, they have a tag available for all their majors. Tag and pre-evaluation of coursework. UC Merced and UC Davis, they do provide a pre-evaluation of coursework through the tag. So for these two campuses that do conduct the pre-evaluation, they want you to wait to file the UC application until they complete the evaluation process and they provide feedback. Usually around by November 15th, you should hear from the campuses. If you don't hear from UC Davis or UC Merced by around mid-November, I recommend you reach out to the campus to find out the status of your UC tag application. UC Irvine, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz, they do not provide a pre-evaluation coursework via the tag. So for these campuses, you can submit your UC application at any time. Online process, you'll need to fill out an online tag application. You can do this by going through your UC Transfer Admissions Planner, UC tab. If you haven't started an account, make sure you create one, and this is where you'll complete and submit the online tag application. Make sure you check for any messages from any individual UC campuses that you get to make sure you respond as soon as possible. When your tag is submitted, fulfill all remaining coursework and GPA requirements for your tag agreement. Okay, you got to maintain that GPA and make sure you complete all the coursework that was in your tag. Apply for admissions to the UC during the appropriate filing period, which basically is November 30th. That's when the deadline is for submitting your UC application for admissions. If the tag you completed, if that particular UC campus is asking for an alternative major, make sure that if your first choice for that major is the same and it matches the one you did for the UC tag. And again, forward any required documents that the UC requests from you as soon as possible. Common errors. So these are common errors that some students make. So we want to make sure we make you aware of them so you don't make them yourselves. One is failing to include every course taken in college and including only those that are UC transferable. So sometimes students will only include the colleges that only have the UC transferable units. And basically for applying, you need to include every single college, every single class you've taken. They want to see everything, not just only courses that are UC transferable. Leaving off college or universities attended and forgetting to list courses attempted at that school. So if you attended a college or a university, but you actually don't have any UC transferable courses, or you just attempted some courses, but you actually didn't complete them, you still have to put the college that you attended and the courses that you took, even if you didn't complete, let's say you got all W's, you still have to include them. Forgetting to include coursework completed at a college university outside the United States, they basically want to see all colleges, universities you attended. Whether it was in the US or outside, they still want to see it. So make sure that you also include all the coursework and of all the colleges, universities you've attended. If the courses were taken at West Valley, again, maybe forgetting listing West Valley as a separate school. We are part of the same school district, but we are different colleges, so make sure you list West Valley as a separate school if you attended West Valley. Listing West Valley courses as Mission College courses. When you look at your transcript, make sure you look carefully. It does state whether you took the class through Mission or West Valley, so make sure you list the courses that you took under West Valley, and the courses that you took through Mission under Mission College. Failing to account for all gaps in college attendance after high school. So after graduating high school, if you took a break from school, from going to college, starting university, that's okay. Make sure that you explain the reasons why there's a gap. It could have been that you started to work full time. Maybe you took time off to, raise a family, or you were traveling. Whatever the reasons are, make sure you are explaining the reasons why there's a gap in education. Inserting the incorrect unit amount for a course. This comes into play more when you're manually entering a course. Sometimes by mistake, you might enter the wrong unit number, so make sure you're always matching your transcript. Failing to include courses taken for credit, no credit, or perhaps pass, no pass. Again, if you took a class and you didn't pass it, it's okay. You still have to put it in, or even if you would take it for no credit. So again, include every single course you took. Inserting section numbers where course numbers should go. Again, usually happens when you're manually entering a course. Perhaps, by mistake, you put in a different number. So make sure that your transcript matches literally the courses you're inputting in your application. Forgetting to include courses in progress or plan. So courses that you're currently taking, make sure you include those. And then courses that you still plan to take for winter or spring, for example, make sure those are included as well. Some useful websites. The UC Transfer Admissions Planner, and this is where you would do your tag application of courses there. There's also another one for information on general tag process with links to the individual UC campus tag sites. That's an important website to keep in mind. And of course, the UC Online application for admissions. Again, you need to apply for UC admissions as well.